Listen, everything doesn't require a response. Everything that you go through within your life is not going to require you to open your mouth and say anything. Everything doesn't require a response. Did you know walking away, being quiet is a response? Talking, sometimes it's not needed. God has said, what I'm getting ready to do in your life, it's going to be a response. What I'm getting ready to bless you with, God said, that's a response. God said, what I'm getting ready to allow in your life, that's a big response. Your silence, family, was a huge response that a lot of people didn't anticipate you doing. A lot of people anticipated, especially when you are used to trying to defend you. You know, you don't have to defend yourself, family. You don't have to defend yourself to anybody. God told us to owe man nothing but to love them. Practice that. People thought you owed them something. Do you know that's why God didn't allow a lot of people to help you along your journey? This is why God didn't allow opportunities from certain people to get to you. And no matter how much they promise, God said, no, you're not going to help my child. I'm going to block this. I'm going to block it because you're going to try to take the credit for it. And this is why God allowed some things to come to a naught. That means to nothing. God allowed some things not to even get off the ground with certain people in your life. This was God responding. And God was letting you know that I'm going to do this another way. God is going to show you great things that you've never seen before in your life. God is going to show you mighty things that you've never seen before in your life. Do you know God is doing a new thing in your life? God is doing something different in you. You can feel it. And you can sense that God is doing something different. You can feel this in your spirit. It's tugging at you. But you just can't put your finger on it. You just don't have an exact. You don't have anything precise of what he's actually doing. But you know God is doing something. And you are actually right. God said, I'm doing something new. And I'm going to do it in you. God said, I'm doing something different. And I'm going to let you experience it first. So don't respond by talking. Don't respond by trying to defend who you are. God said, don't you do that. God said, be quiet. He said, hold your peace. God said, I'm going to fight this battle for you. Let God fight. God said, I want to fight this battle for you. So let me fight. God said, you don't have to fight this battle. He said, I got it. Let him do it. This is not going to require a response from you. A verbal response. You don't have to give one. You don't have to give one person a verbal response. Not one. This is what the enemy wants you to do. A lot of people want you to give a verbal response because they want to know that it bothers you. They want to know that it's difficult for you not hearing from them. That's what the enemy wants to know. And the reason why the enemy wants to know if what they're doing against you is bothering you, so they can do it even more. When a person knows that something is bothering you, that they're doing against you, family, they're going to do it more. So you got to have wisdom. You got to be smart against the devil. You got to be quiet. And you got to show a side of you that the enemy didn't even know existed. You got to show a part of you that the enemy didn't know you had the strength in. God said, what I'm doing, it doesn't require a verbal response. God said, I got this. I don't need your help. God is telling you to step back because I am in the ring with the enemy and your enemy is already defeated. You know, the Bible tells us that the Lord is in the heavens laughing. And he's in the heavens laughing because he knows what the end of your enemy is going to be. Can you imagine God laughing at every person that is coming for you? God is so tickled. He's laughing so hard at every person that thought the last battle that they sent in your direction, the last spell, the last jinx, that last hex, all the witchcraft they sent in your direction, all of the word curses they sent in your direction, they thought that was the one that was going to take you out. But God said he is laughing at the enemies of your life today because he knows the end. If your enemy knew the end that they were getting ready to experience, they wouldn't bother you one day in their life, family. They wouldn't set a trap for you one day in their life. When the enemy set traps for you, they set them for themselves because you will never fall in it. Every pit that people dig for you, they are digging a pit for themselves. If they're digging a hole for you, you won't fall in it. They will. And God is going to use what they fall in for you to step on. What people do against you, you're going to use that as a stepping stone. The pain is going to be a stepping stone for you. The adversity is going to be a stepping stone for you. The challenges that you face, that's a stepping stone for you. It's not a setback. No, it's an opportunity for God to give you a comeback. God said, but this is not going to require a verbal response from you. God said it's going to require you to remain silent. It's going to require you to keep walking and speaking to me on the inside. God said, when you go on the inside and you pray in secret, God said, I'm the one that's going to reward you openly. And everybody around you going to know what you've been praying for. God said, go in your secret closet. When you get ready to pray, don't tell people what you're praying for. Go in your secret closet. That's you and God. This is between you and God. Just like sin was God's dilemma. And he came up with a solution, didn't he? And we know the solution for sin. We know how we were redeemed. We know how redemption came to for us. The same thing God is telling you today, family of God. God said, I've made a way of escape. God said, I'm going to go right before you in all those places that people tried to make crooked to get you off course. God said, I'm going to go before you and I'm going to straighten this mess out. And can you imagine the love that God has for his children? God is going to move every mess out of the way for you. God said, I'm going to get in front of you and I'm going to straighten all this up. And all you got to do is walk behind me because the path that I'm clearing for you, my God, is a great path. God said, I'm going to lead you to a safe place. I'm going to lead you right into Canaan, the land that flows with milk and honey. But on the road to Canaan, you got to fight a battle too. And when you get to Canaan, there's going to be some battles that you got to fight too in your promised land. You got to fight in the promised land, but we don't fight flesh and blood, family. We rage war against principalities and wickedness and powers that are in high places. Spiritual warfare is real, and you may feel a heightened spiritual warfare because you are close. When you get your hand on the doorknob of your life before you get ready to turn, the enemy is going to come at you always, not one way. He's going to come at you and your life in every way possible. But God said, what I'm getting ready to prove to your enemies, what I'm getting ready to prove to you is not going to require a verbal response. God said, this is going to require your silence. You know, whenever you silent, you know, you speak in volumes to people. You know, when you don't respond or react in a negative way to trouble and adversity, you're speaking volumes to your enemies. See, you're going to confuse your enemies. You have all of these people confused because they thought they had you figured out. But God will never let the enemy know your hand, family. And you can never let the enemy know your hand. How does the enemy know your hand? How will he get the ups on us? By giving him place, by telling everything that's in your heart, telling everything that's in your spirit, by sharing too much. No. If people have a problem because you go within and this is just between you and God, let people have a problem with that, family of God. You got a job to do and you got a God to glorify. You got places to go. You got people to see. You got things to do. You got an assignment to meet. You always remember that. There will always be an assignment against your assignment. This is not about you. This is bigger than you, family of God. I'm so grateful to be able to come in your homes and encourage my family. It's a blessing to be here. I want you to stay encouraged. I want you to watch our videos from the beginning to the end. And I want you to go back and rewatch the previous recorded videos that I've done and those lives and share them with someone. And jump over to my Instagram and follow me there and give me your support on the Instagram page. Give me a heart. Let me know you're there. Give me your praise reports in the comment section. Don't get scammed. Y'all see these fake profiles? You see the scammers in the comment section. So when y'all see the replies of these scammers with my fake picture icon, do not respond negative to these people. Just delete it. When the enemy knows something is bothering your family, they're going to do it more. When you give none of your time and none of your attention to the enemy don't know what to do. See, you don't confuse people. You don't confuse your enemies. You know how you confuse these people? Because you learn to shut your mouth up. You learn to be quiet. You learn to stop sharing. You did. You learn to stop saying everything that bothered you. You learn to stop telling what you were getting ready to do. You learn to stop revealing. God has taught you and he's teaching you how to conceal things until the time of revealing. The time of revealing what God is doing over your life, trust me, that time gonna come. Because when you go in your secret closet and you pray, God said, I'm gonna reward you openly. Why you think God told us to go in the secret closet and pray? He said, go in your secret closet. He said, and pray. He said, God in secret, he's going to reward you openly. Everybody's going to know what you've been praying for. Everybody's going to understand when they see you again, where you've been hidden, why you've been hidden. You've been hidden and you've been tucked away so you can hear God. There was just too many distractions on your journey. There was too much noise and chaos on your journey. So God had to set you aside. He had to isolate you somewhere. He had to get you in a period of your life where it was just you and him. Just like Paul, it's just him and God. And now you're going to run. You're going to be just like Jonah. God may have told you something to do and you didn't want to do it and you went in the opposite direction until God called the fish to consume you for 3 days in hell. And when that fish threw up Jonah, he ran, didn't he? He ran and did what God called him to do, family. Nothing is going to require a verbal response. You're going to respond by being silent, by being quiet, and let God be God. Let God do what only he can do. Let God be your provider. Let God be your protector. Let God be your fortress, your strong tower. And you run to him because in him you're safe. You're not safe in the arms of anybody else, family. You're safe. Don't live on the outside of the ark of safety. If you're on the outside of the ark of safety, come back in, family. God is waiting on you with open arms. God's going to do something so different in your life, family. God's going to do something that he's never done for anybody else in your own bloodline. This is why you're suffering the most. This is why when you make a step, you get knocked back because the enemy wants to deter you from trying. He wants to convince you to stop trying. Don't ever stop trying and don't ever stop going in the direction that God has told you to go. Even if God has placed you on a difficult path, stay the course. Hashtag that. I'll stay the course. Stay the course. Because it's on this difficult road. It's on this chaotic road that you're going to collide with your destiny and your kingdom assignments. But I can tell you from experience, you're going to have to fight some devils along the way. You're going to have to slay some giants. You are. But God said, I'm going to show you great and mighty things that you've never known. Trust God to do exactly what he said he was going to do. And trust the timing of God. God's will is perfect, and so is his timing. Trust it. He always knows the best time to give you whatever he's promised you. He knows. He didn't forget, and it won't be late. Whatever you're believing for, no matter how long it's been, it's going to be right on time. Just give that thing to God. Give that care and that concern to God. Turn this stuff over to God. Turn that situation over to God. Surrender to God. Thank you for tuning in today. I love all of you. Talk later. Bye-bye.